I just feel like it's him starting to try to. He's always trying to place the blame somewhere else. It's my opinion. It's my opinion. He may think differently, but the kids, he's not. He's still very estranged from his children, which is a very hard thing, I think. But they have these things. I don't know if you've heard of them, but you put them up to your ear and you can actually talk to people. Oh, it's like this now. And yeah, they can. And they all have. You can also write little messages. Yeah, you can't. You can't on these devices that you can hold here or here. Hey, besties. Guess what? Christine Brown's book, Christine Brown Woolley. Her new book is apparently already on shelves at Barnes & Noble. And while I haven't had a chance to get there, I'm sending my husband to Barnes & Noble this afternoon while I work, and he's going to go pick this up for me so that we can go through some spoilers. But because it's available, there's a couple people on Reddit that have it early. They went to Barnes & Noble and they picked it up and it's being discussed wildly on the subreddit Sister Wives. And some of the details that have been leaked by the people that have read it are wild because I really didn't expect her to go into some of the stuff she talked about. I figured there would be conversations about the dynamics in the family, but I didn't expect them to go into conversations about intimate relationships. You know what happens in the bedroom, because this was something that they all never discussed on the show. And I guess she doesn't at all shy away from discussing Kody's preferences, how bad he was while they were doing things in the bedroom. And some of his unusual requests that he wanted them to do. And also once Robyn joined the family, apparently she helped Kody by he would talk to her about what was going on in the bedrooms with the other women. And I guess we now know that some of the wives, remember when Robyn said it's not what they don't like it, it's not them. And if they're not giving affection to their husband. Well, I guess we now know that Kody was using Robyn as kind of the go-between. He was tattling on his love life with Christine and how she wasn't obeying him and giving him what he wanted. And then Robyn would then apparently have to tell Christine that she needed to be a good, obedient wife and give him what he wanted. I always knew that they talked about these things, but now it's confirmed. So I just want to share with you a couple of the details that I found on Reddit. Now before we get into the stuff about the sexy time, apparently at one point in time she had to have surgery on her knee and she got addicted to OxyContin or oxycodone. I don't know which one, but oxy. And apparently, according to a Redditor, OK Jean, she said she couldn't go through days without drinking. She wouldn't get blackout drunk, but had to have at least 1 or 2 drinks a night. And when she got home from surgery, Kody dropped her off at home and she asked him to stay with her and he wouldn't. And she asked him when she was supposed to take the meds, how much. And he told her he didn't know and basically to figure it out. So her daughters and her mom took care of her then after she was addicted. She decided to wean off and gave Aspen the pills to make sure she couldn't get to them. And it says poor Aspen. I felt like that was totally inappropriate. Apparently Kody was so infrequently around that he was only at the houses to sleep and to eat. The same user also shared this. As far as the move to Las Vegas, she said they did move to Flagstaff for Dayton and didn't find out it was for him to go to NAU until a month later. Kody was pissed that the Raiders were moving to Las Vegas and said the traffic would be bad and their kids wouldn't be safe anymore because a football team was building a stadium in Las Vegas. So that's how he initially pitched moving to them. So stupid. I'm not sure how a football team makes their lives less safe. And then it says it also sounds like she was pretty much done with the marriage as soon as Robyn joined. She talked about how Robyn cries all the time and how she'd confide in her sometimes to try to bond with her. And then Robyn would twist her words and tell Kody what she was said. She also said Kody told Robyn about his and Christine's sex life or lack thereof. Christine said earlier in the book that Kody would make her massage him and he never reciprocated. And when she asked him for a massage, he said no because it didn't turn him on to massage her. So she stopped giving him massages and Robyn questioned her about why she stopped. Now multiple users shared this story. Another user wrote, "Here's something: Kody required an hour-long full-body massage before sex, but never reciprocated and said it didn't turn him on to touch his wife. She stopped the massages and Robyn asked her why she didn't do it anymore. Because Kody is such a good husband. So you have Robyn interjecting into her sex life with another wife. Remember how Robyn on the show said that she never talked to Kody about what was going on in the bedroom? And can you imagine these massages remind me of the cult leader that I'm covering that's in California and how he always wants women to give him massages? But he also doesn't reciprocate and he uses the women for massages and then other things. So he wants an hour-long massage before they do it and then she stops doing it and then Robyn guilts her for no longer doing it. Also, someone shared a small screenshot of the book and it was 2 years before Christine even had an orgasm with Kody. Because I guess she said that on the very first night they got married, Christine had never kissed anyone before. She had never had any level of intimacy. And when they were there to consummate the marriage, she said there was no foreplay, no kissing. He basically just stuck it in and she cried because it was so painful. And another thing, he liked it when they wore their full Mormon garments while having sex. And apparently he was only into straight missionary. No, no foreplay. Now, the wearing of the garments is something that's absolutely recommended by their cult, because that's how they're supposed to have, righteous sex. And the AUB also teaches that sex should not be enjoyable. So I don't know if that's why he doesn't want to touch the wives and he's not turned on by them when they touch him and he just wants massages. It's all so weird. So on their wedding night, one Redditor wrote, Kody just shoved it in. No kissing, no floor play, nothing. He had 2 wives already. He should have known better. I hate him, but Christine totally doesn't totally trash him. She's giving him a lot of grace. Oh my God. So he doesn't. You sounds painful. It sounds horrible. Here's a paragraph from the book. I knew Kody already had some experience, so I thought I would be safe with him and that he would be careful not to hurt me. I wasn't completely clueless and I trusted him. I also thought because he had some experience that it would be, good. Oh my gosh, my cheeks are burning. It hurt like crazy. And I cried. I'm so sorry, he said. As I recall, but it hurt because there was no foreplay. There was no anything. It was my very first time after having my very first kiss at the altar and he was experienced. So he should have known. I've been looking forward to this for so long, I said, crying from the pain. I envisioned hand-holding, moonlight, gentle touches. I imagined feeling beautiful and adored. I imagined a loving acknowledgement of our external life together for the rest of our honeymoon. I was too sore for us to go again. And she didn't like Robyn at all. And she said that Robyn basically cries all the time. And any time that she would try to get and bond with Robyn, Robyn would run back to Kody and twist her words and get Kody all riled up. She said Robyn cries all the time. She'd confide in her sometimes to try to bond with her, and Robyn would twist her words and tell Kody what was said. She also said Kody and Robyn. Kody told Robyn about his lack of sex life, and then Christine also spoke about the money in there, and she said Christine confirmed in her new book that everything went into a family pot and Robyn and Kody were spending it all. Kody never helped with kids, even when she asked. She said she would ask him to help her tuck the kids in while they were working, while she was working multiple jobs and night shifts and pregnant. And he told her no, she needed to figure it out or ask her sister wives. She also confirmed that he neglected Truly when she was out of town and Truly almost died, she said. She called Kody and told him Aspen said something is really wrong with Truly and he refused to even go over and check because he was busy with Robyn's kids. So she was out of town. Truly was super sick and he was busy taking care of Robyn's kids. And so he had the older girls take care of Truly. And I guess was said that had Kody actually been so negligent that Truly would have died, she would have left him, but she stayed because she survived. That's I don't know. I'm gonna have to. That's gonna be a tough story to read. And there was another tidbit someone dropped about Truly and why Truly doesn't want to stay over at Kody's house ever or spend time with him. And it was because he made her stay in a bedroom that had no door, like only had a door entrance from the outside. And I'm assuming this is the house in Flagstaff, that the person wrote. He and Robyn also had truly stay in a room that was only accessible from the outside when they went to stay when she went to stay with them. And the next time she stayed, they stuck her in a room without curtains. She said Truly didn't want to go visit anymore because Kody only wanted to spend time with his kids. And when Christine said she was his kid too, she said she wasn't. So Truly didn't feel like she was Kody's daughter, and the first time she's stuck in a bedroom where it's only accessible from the outside, meaning that she's cut off from everyone else in the house. No one from the interior of the house can get to her unless they go outside. That's so I can't believe they would do that to a minor child. That is so awful. Why couldn't they have Aurora or one of the adults stay in that room for one night and then have Truly stay in a room with a bedroom that was interior? She's a child, for crying out loud. And then Truly doesn't think that she's his child. That's heartbreaking. I kind of felt like there must have been something that was going on when she was visiting them in Flagstaff that caused Christine to gain custody and force Kody to pay child support. And I wonder if part of the reason why she forced the issue was so that he would acknowledge Truly as his child. Because if he's on her birth certificate and paternity tests are done, he can no longer deny that she's his child. Like, that's your child. Now you have to pay for her. If I were Christine, that kind of story would be what would propel me over the edge to get child support. If my child said that they didn't feel like their dad was their dad, that's horrible. Now, as far as the big fight with Meri and Leon with Meri and Mykelti. Apparently her issue with Meri was that Meri was really controlling from the start. And when they were living in Lehi and in that one house together, it was really hard to all live together because Meri wanted everything to be clean all the time. And she didn't like it when the kids were loud and roughhousing, and she would just get really annoyed about minor things. And she says the big fight with Meri happened because Leon and Mykelti were at the store. When they were there so they're 8 years old and Mykelti has was short, and she asked the cashier for help. And I guess Leon told Meri they were embarrassed. Meri freaked out on Mykelti for being irresponsible and embarrassing Leon, Christine said. She yelled at Meri that they needed to stay away from her kids and from her and her kids, and ever since then the relationship was superficial. That she embarrassed Leon because she didn't have enough money at the store and she asked the store person for help and Meri yelled at her. That's wild. Embarrassing her, I'm sure, because they don't want to look like their negligent parents. I don't know. I don't know why Meri would freak out on Mykelti for something like that. We'll have to see what the entire paragraph says about that, and once I do get the book, we'll go through it and I'll share with you more of the excerpts. This is obviously only what people are sharing on Reddit, so it's kind of random. A separate Redditor who also read the book shared her take on the Meri situation, and she said this one thing: I suspected Meri was a bitch from the start. She was mean to the other wives' kids. Christine said the real magic time happened when Meri moved out of the house. They were sharing it into her own place. Christine wasn't totally awful about Meri, but did tell the story of Meri screaming at a very young Mykelti about borrowing a nickel from a store owner for candy. Meri lost her shit and said Mykelti embarrassed Leon, who was at the store with her. Christine told Meri she was done with her and that she wasn't welcome in their downstairs apartment. They weren't friends long before the show. It was all so fake. I feel kind of stupid for believing it. I think this is the last season and a book made it seem that way, at least for Christine. So it sounds like Christine is leaving at the end of the season. And as far as Robyn goes, it sounds like the way that Christine describes the relationship with Kody and Robyn isn't that Robyn necessarily controls Kody, but that Robyn kind of just bends to Kody and does whatever he wants. So if he wants an hour-long massage before they have sex, she does that. She does whatever he wants in any position he wants, in any way that he wants. She doesn't at all just dispute him. And then in return, Kody favors her and spends all of his time with her because she does whatever he wants in the bedroom sexually. And that once Robyn joined the family, he all but stopped all of his time with the rest of the kids. He spent all of his time at Robyn's place. He would only show up very late to eat dinner. He would go to sleep, and then he would wake up and leave right away and then go back over to Robyn's house. So he really had no relationship with them. And while the show was filming, because everything was so strained and because they weren't even really spending time with him, they filmed every other day and had to be careful what they said or facial expressions they made. Because if they said something Kody or Robyn didn't like, then Kody would punish them by not seeing them at all. He only ate and slept at the OG houses, and if things weren't perfect, he would go to another wife's house. He stopped spending any time at all at the OG kids once Robyn showed up. None at all. It's so gross the way he ditched his family. So that's the hot takes, the leaks that are happening right now. You can check these out on the Sister Wives Reddit or the TLC Sister Wives Reddit where these people are being leaking all of this information, but my husband is currently right on his way to get to Barnes & Noble, and I should have this book later today and we'll go deeper into what she's talking about. But this doesn't. It actually kind of surprises me how much she talks about sex in the book. But I'm glad that she does, because, I think it's so important that people understand that these women, for all intents and purposes, are being trafficked for sex and money,